What's up, everyone? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, the Hot Commodity Ant C. I'm joined by my own personal hot commodity.
That's me.
That's Smoking Hot Ant B. And today we're saying goodbye to 2025 and hello to the Attitude Era and the WWE. This is season 4 of the Attitude Years, and we're going back in time, covering from December 1997 to, I'll say, like December 2001, and then we'll call 2002 Ruthless Aggression period. But we've got one more year to go. You can check out seasons 1, 2, and 3 in the archives, and we're currently filming season 4. So we've made it through 1 month of 2001. How are you thinking of it so far?
It's okay so far. I think it's going to pick up soon.
Yes, it definitely will pick up. Before we talk about the actual show that we're covering, I went back and looked up some stuff that took place in American history on February 5th, 2001. It was a Monday. We found out that Kelly Ripa is the permanent co-host to Live with Regis and Kelly. She started on that day. I didn't know that she started that early in 2001. I thought that she came on like towards the end, but Kelly Ripa took over for Kathy Lee Gifford, and she's now has Live with Kelly and Mark now, her husband. So she's been doing it since 2001.
Mark Consuelo.
Mm-hmm. Then some sad news. Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise decided to split up. They announced their split to the world, and now Rosie O'Donnell can finally get her man.
Yeah.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Well, he belongs to Scientology, so I
guess. No, you're right. So a fun thing, Kelly Ripa takes over, and a sad
I don't think
thing,
the Scientologists would like Rosie O'Donnell.
Well, Nicole Kidman's like, I'm done with Scientology and Tom Cruise, and she left him. So those are the two important things that took place on February 5th.
I wonder if her and Leah Remini will
Make
a
porn against Scientology. That would be fun.
Okay.
We have WWF Raw Is War live February 5th, 2001 in Atlanta, Georgia. Kicking us off, we have Intercontinental Champion Chris Jericho defending against Matt Hardy with Lita, and Jeff Hardy's dealing with an injury, but he'll be back on SmackDown, is what they say. Malenko walks out on the stage early on in the match. Lita hits Chris Jericho with a flying Hurricane Rana, and then Dean hits Matt Hardy from behind, and the mat gets pushed into Lita on the floor, and then Jericho lands a lion salt to defeat Matt Hardy. After the match, though, Matt goes after Dean until Perry Saturn attacks Matt Hardy, but then Chris Jericho makes a save. But then out of nowhere, Eddie Guerrero returns, and he lays out Chris Jericho. The Radicals attack Jericho and Hardy, and Eddie Guerrero lays the Intercontinental title belt on Jericho's face and lands a frog splash.
I thought it was very heelish of Lita
you mentioned that,
to go after Jericho in a match like that.
Well, she's got to protect the man.
Mm.
What do you think of Eddie Guerrero returning, though? He's been gone since December. So what do you think of him being back? And it looks like he wants to go after the Intercontinental title here.
Yeah.
Latino heat.
Yeah. Excuse me. I'm ready for some Latino heat. I know Eddie. He does a lot before he unfortunately passes away and becomes very popular. And I know he becomes champion a couple times. And I'm ready to see what he does. And I know he doesn't live. Only lives a couple more years, so
yeah, like 4 more years.
Yeah, so I know. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see a lot from him coming up.
Latino heat. Moving on, The Rock comes out, and The Rock talks about how on SmackDown, Triple H got himself involved in the match between Kurt Angle and The Rock, making it a triple threat match. And he says that Stone Cold Steve Austin, he knows how much Austin hates Triple H, and he's glad that Austin screwed Triple H. But by screwing Triple H, he also screwed him. And he challenged Triple H to come out to the ring and face him man-to-man. That's when Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley comes out, and she starts to talk to The Rock, but The Rock calls her a dirty trash bag hoe. That's when Triple H comes out. Or no, he tells Stephanie that she's had more men than a baseball season or something like that, referring to baseball. And then Triple H comes out, and he says, I was involved in that match because I am the man who's been kicking your ass since you walked in, which is true. Him and The Rock have been going at it since the beginning. He says, but to be honest, Stone Cold Steve Austin's screwed me and only me. And if you want to fight, I like to kick your ass. It's time to play the game. But before The Rock and Triple H can fight, WWF Champion Kurt Angle comes out. And Angle says, this is ridiculous that you two want to fight me. Neither of you will win in a fight against me anyways. And he says the popular song goes, whoop, there it is. And that's like an old
Which is
song.
not popular by any means.
Not by 2001. He calls them both boring. And then Vince McMahon comes out. And Vince basically says that I'm fair. And Rock's like, I don't want to hear that fair shit. Kurt Angle kisses Vince McMahon's ass by saying, you're always fair, Vince. And then Vince makes a tag match, The Rock and WWF Champion Kurt Angle against a team of Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin. And remember, Austin and Triple H cannot physically touch each other until No Way Out. What did you think of this booking here by Vince, The Rock and Angle against Triple H and Stone Cold? They kind of got something up his sleeve. Like, why would you book guys that hate each other?
Yeah, I mean, he could have something up his sleeve, but this is kind of just really Vince McMahon and what he does. I feel like they still try to do things like this to this day. They kind of put people that are about to fight in tag teams or some kind of weird match like that the night before. So, and I don't always like that because sometimes you want it to build up.
Yeah, and it's lazy to do that. It's like just putting
it's like they're edging us.
They're edging us. Hubba bubba. All right, speaking of Edge and Christian come out, and they start mocking Kaientai and mocking Japanese people. Kaientai come out and say that you just said that you guys would hook up with a camel, and then they talk about how they're evil. Funaki says, indeed. However, they're not evil enough to defeat Edge and Christian. Edge and Christian get the win after hitting Taka with a stacked suplex, and Edge and Christian get the win here. Basic match, really nothing to come from it, just these two teams fighting. Kaientai outsmarted Edge and Christian on Raw a couple weeks ago.
And it's just like Kaientai, they're not like really a threat to anybody.
No.
It's just like a
silly gimmick, yeah. Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley is backstage and she is fucking pissed because she says that the maid was in Vince McMahon's hotel room and found an earring inside his bed and it wasn't Linda's, and she is going to confront her dad about it. However, William Regal is seen watching and listening in the background. So Stephanie then goes to proceed to confront Vince and say, this was found in your bedroom. What the fuck are you, your hotel room? What are you doing? William Regal runs in and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, Vince. Thank you for letting me have your hotel room. Me and my wife had a good night. Thank you. And he leaves. He's totally covering for Vince. Stephanie looks pissed because she knows Vince is lying, but she can't continue on saying he's lying because Regal just covered for him. What do you think of these shenanigans going on here?
Yeah, I mean, Regal's been kind of doing Vince's dirty work the last few weeks, so it doesn't really surprise me. Now Vince will kind of owe him, and we'll see what happens.
And what about Stephanie, though? Like, she really wants to know that. Like, why is she so obsessed with her dad and Trish?
Well, I think she just hates Trish.
Yeah.
I think that's just it. She wants to be the only dominant woman.
We see the Cat backstage and she strips for the APA and she's trying to get them to join her group, which we'll learn about later. Molly Holly is seen waiting in the parking lot for the mysterious ninja woman to appear. And then we get the WWF Tag Team Champions, the Dudley Boyz, defending against Kane and The Undertaker, the Brothers of Destruction. This was a good tag match. Taker lands a chokeslam to Bubba Ray, but that's when Edge and Christian run out, and they both have steel chairs, but Taker hits Christian with the chair, and Bubba Ray Dudley's on the floor. The ref sees Taker with the chair and assumes that Taker laid out Bubba, so he gives a DQ victory to the Dudley Boyz. Edge and Christian have just screwed over the Brothers of Destruction after the tag titles.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be them.
What do you think is going to come of this?
I'm pretty sure they're going to have another match very soon, or they'll get attacked backstage. I would not want to be Edge and Christian. I wouldn't want to piss off Kane and The Undertaker.
No. We see Trish Stratus backstage with Vince again, and Stone Cold Steve Austin barges in, and he basically says to Vince that you're not screwing me because you're screwing someone else, and he's obviously referring to Trish Stratus there. The Cat and the APA come out, and the Cat, and she's wearing a trench coat, and she says she can't allow the Righteous Censor to keep doing what they're doing. A woman has a right to express themselves, and if women want to be nude, they should be allowed to be. Say hello to the right to nudity. She goes to strip, but then the right two censor come out and attack the APA. Richards calls the cat a slut, and then the cat makes out with Steven Richards, and then Bradshaw lays out Richards with a clothesline, and then Ivory hits Cat, and then the right censor disperses. So we have the right to nudity here on WWE. What do you think of this group?
We'll see. I don't know. I think that I don't know if they're going to be strong enough to get rid of the right to censor, but they'll definitely piss them off.
Do you think that the right to nudity, that Cat has a point? The women should be allowed to be nude?
Well, not nude on TV. I mean, they should, but they're not going to be able to be nude on TV, but they should be able to be sluts if they want to.
Steven Richards, pussy over here. Vince McMahon demonstrates the XFL with Trish Stratus, and he shows her how to bend over, and Al Snow interrupts this time, and he's upset with Vince for firing Mick Foley, and Vince books Al Snow in a match for later on the night. We then see Molly Holly backstage in the parking lot waiting for the Ninja Woman to arrive. The Ninja Woman attacks Molly. Raven grabs Molly's leg, allowing the Ninja to kick Molly, and the Ninja and Raven escape. We still don't know who the Ninja Woman is, and we still have some time to find out. We then see Haku and Rikishi defeat Too Cool after Haku hits Grandmaster Sexay with belly to belly, and then Rikishi hits a bonsai drop. Rikishi and Haku defeat Rikishi's former good friends, Too Cool here. And Rikishi is totally going dark side with Haku here in this match.
Yeah, I kind of felt that match was coming because they, Too Cool and Rikishi never really had an ending, so they just kind of split.
Yeah, basic tag match here. WWF Champion Kurt Angle confronts The Rock backstage, and he tells The Rock that if they do well tonight, he'll talk to Vince McMahon about giving The Rock a #1 contenders match. And The Rock gets serious with Kurt, and he tells him that he wants to make Kurt Angle happy, and he will be taking Kurt's title. The countdown is on for Kurt to remain champion, and The Rock is coming soon for that title. We then see Al Snow take on Chris Benoit. Benoit defeats Al Snow with a crossface. Another filler match just to sort of make everyone scared to go against Vince McMahon. Chyna's at WWF New York, and she talks about all of her appearances and how she's been listening to Billy Gunn, and she's going to focus on the positives that are going on in her life. And we've made it to our main event, The Rock and WWF Champion Kurt Angle teaming up against Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H. Interesting, though, was that Trish Stratus came out with Kurt Angle. Stephanie, of course, came out with Triple H. Earlier on in the match, Big Show comes out and attacks The Rock on the floor. However, Rock is able to get involved and continue to fight in the match. Triple H lands a pedigree to Kurt Angle, but Austin distracts the referee, which allows Angle to low blow Triple H, and he lays out Triple H with a steel chair. So Kurt Angle and The Rock get the pinfall victory after Stone Cold Steve Austin lays out Kurt Angle with the title. And we could see Austin versus Kurt Angle at WrestleMania for the championship. But what do you think, though? Austin was able to outsmart Vince and Triple H again, making Triple H lose the match, distracting him. But Triple H can't touch him. What do you think?
Yeah, it was definitely a good build-up. He did everything but. So, it's just going to see that Austin will stop at no lengths to screw him over. So it makes you excited to see what's he going to do when he can finally get his hands on him.
That's true. Well, a couple weeks away from No Way Out, we're officially on the road to WrestleMania 17. What did you think of this episode of Raw here? Nothing great. We didn't really find out a lot.
It was kind of basic, but it was good.
I feel like for me, the most moment that I remember was Eddie Guerrero coming back because he's been gone for a while.
Definitely.
And continuing to see the storyline with Austin and Triple H, it's going to hit hard soon. So if you want to hear what happens, make sure you subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. Leave a comment. What did you think of this episode? And we have more stuff coming your way with the Attitude Years. We also have Raw recaps, SmackDown recaps. WWE Crown Jewel is this weekend, so be on the lookout for that recap as well. And until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.